Riley Gaines rips Caitlin Clark and Simone Biles for their response to transgender athletes in women's sports. Former college swimmer Riley Gaines has called on the likes of Caitlin Clark and Simone Biles to use their status as high-profile female athletes to oppose transgenders getting into women's sports.
This week,
Gaines has been vocal about keeping men out of women's sports since Leah Thomas joined the swim team at the University of Pennsylvania, and is now calling on Clark and Biles to add their voices to her.
NCAA.
We see you, NCAA.
We see you.
You announced a new policy after Trump's executive order.
This policy.
To have them emphatically say do not belong in women's sports would be. The issue would be solved across all levels, like yesterday, if they were willing to do this. She added doctors where it pertains to transgenders being involved in women's sports. She's challenged the NCAA and other institutions over the issue, even joining a lawsuit against college sports governing body following San Jose State allowing trans woman Blair Fleming to compete. Indiana Fever. Caitlin Clark speaks out on growth of women's sports. Indiana Fever star Caitlin Clark has recently voiced her thoughts on the remarkable growth of women's sports, emphasizing the need for continued progress and investment. As more attention and resources are directed toward women's athletics, Clark's perspective reflects a broader shift in how these sports are perceived and valued. The past few years have seen significant milestones in women's sports, with increased viewership and participation rates. Clark's rise as a prominent figure in collegiate basketball has contributed to this momentum, inspiring young athletes and elevating the profile of women's sports. The success of events like the NCAA Women's Basketball Tournament has demonstrated a burgeoning appetite for competitive women's athletics. Clark points out that the growing visibility of women's sports is crucial for inspiring the next generation of female athletes. By showcasing their skills on larger platforms, women athletes can serve as role models, encouraging young girls to pursue their passions in sports. This visibility not only fosters talent, but also cultivates a sense of community and belonging among female athletes.
We've seen at the women's level.
Yo, man, we should be talking about her the way we talked about Caitlin Clark last year. Juju's
Absolutely.
Special. Juju's special. I'm telling you that right now. She is the package.
And
White girl came on the scene where there was a bunch of sisters that preceded her, spanning decades, that were big time, that deserved a lot of credit. I mean, people looked at the Cheryl Swoops of the world, the Maya Moores of the world, and others, and they said, yo, there was a bunch of people that came before her that did big things.
I think, obviously, women's basketball and being a part of women's basketball, you're seeing it grow, whether it's people buying tickets, whether it's viewership on TV, whether it's across the board. The amount of games on national television, she explained. For the WNBA star, there is a great sense of fulfillment in being a part of the significant change in sports, calling it super special. So I think myself being a part of that and getting to play women's basketball at the time where it's really growing and really taking off, is something that's super special. The Fever playmaker added. Despite the progress, challenges remain, including the ongoing issue of pay equity and access to training facilities. Clark's advocacy highlights the importance of addressing these disparities to ensure that women athletes receive equal support and recognition. By pushing for structural changes, the sports community can create a more equitable environment for all athletes. Clark's insights on the growth of women's sports illustrate a pivotal moment in athletics. As the landscape evolves, the commitment to fostering talent and promoting visibility will be vital for sustaining this momentum. With continued support and investment, the future looks promising for women in sports, paving the way for even greater achievements and recognition. In a video shared on the Fever's official Instagram, players like Kelsey Mitchell, Aaliyah Boston and Lexi Hull reflected on the ongoing progress of women's sports. As for Clark, she highlighted the fast expansion and popularity of the game, noting that it's happening at an exponential rate. The Fever point guard also emphasized how women's competitions are increasingly captivating audiences on a larger scale. This sister got game. Stephen A.
March is going to be a lot of fun. How impressive was Juju's performance?
She's spectacular.
If I've seen a woman college basketball player as polished as Juju Watkins, Stephen A., the way she can put the ball on the floor, get to the rim, Euro step, one leg, three-point shot, mid-range shot.
During a recent discussion on First Take, Smith praised Watkins, who once again leads the NCAA in points per game. Given the 19-year-old's remarkable consistency and dominance, he questioned why she isn't receiving the same level of national attention that Clark did during her time with Iowa.
About Caitlin Clark last year. Juju's
Absolutely.
Special. Juju's special. I'm telling you that right now. She is the package.
And